Secretary Jacob Rees-Mogg earlier unveiled a new support package pledging to cut energy bills for businesses by half. Following an announcement for caps on household energy bills, this new scheme, starting on the 1st of October, will effectively put a maximum price on the cost of electricity and gas charged to businesses. But many firms argue that this won't be enough and that all is not quite as it seems. And we're joined now, who better than Liam Halligan, with some expert analysis, of course, from our very own GBNews economics and business editor with On the Money. Yes, Liam, thank you very much for stepping into the fray and explaining this to all of us. What has the government actually unveiled then?
Now, you and I, all of us on GB News, have been talking a lot about household energy bills. There's a cap for those. That will be detailed on Friday in Kwasi Kwarteng's mini-budget. Today, the Business Secretary, Jacob Rees-Mogg, he outlined a cap on energy costs for businesses because businesses have had no price cap at all. And it's a cap on the unit cost of their energy. It's not a cap on their overall bills. It's a cap on the unit cost. So if they use more energy, they'll still pay more. And if they use less, they'll pay less. But the actual unit they're paying for, that is at a cap price. I've got a few more details here in a graphic for you, Patrick. Jacob Rees-Mogg said today that electricity will be £211 per megawatt hour cap. Gas is £75 per megawatt hour. That's less than half the cost we expected per unit for businesses to pay this coming winter. So that's a major announcement there by the government. It will be applied directly to your electricity bills, so firms don't need to do anything. That's on the next graphic. It begins in October and it lasts for up to 6 months. There it is there on the screen. So this is a major energy support package, Patrick, but businesses will still be paying a lot more than they were this time last year. And also a lot of businesses are complaining up until now the government's done nothing at all for them in terms of their energy costs.
Well, on that note, then, how has this gone down with businesses?
Well, I've been talking to business leaders, small and medium-sized enterprises, restaurant owners, pub owners, manufacturers and so on, and they're pleased. They're pleased at the headlines, and indeed you just read it out, that fuel bills will be cut by half. And indeed, this unit cost for electricity is roughly half what we thought it would be this autumn and winter. But then I had a conversation in the GB News newsroom earlier today with a very knowledgeable guy. I've spoken to him many times here on our channel. He's called Stephen Morley. He's a proud Brummie. He is the president of the Confederation of British Metalformers. These are manufacturing firms who use metal and bend it in different ways, create components for all kinds of industries. They use an awful lot of energy, naturally, Patrick. Not as much as steel makers, but they still use a great deal. And when I spoke to him, and I've got a clip here, he said to me that this notion that energy costs for companies are going to be cut by half, it's just not right.
It's a big statement and it's welcome. As I said, it gives us breathing space, gives our members time to look at what the impact is. However, there are some real concerns with this because I don't think anyone's picked up that this is just wholesale prices. That only equates to 35% of the cost of energy. So we've got 45% goes to delivery, 15% on taxes and state fees, and 5% on purchases. So it's important that the control of the other 65% is looked at and it's controlled either by the government or self-regulated by the energy firms.
There you have it, Patrick, from the horse's mouth. And I'm going to put the whole of my interview with Stephen Morley, I talked to him for about 15 minutes, on my Money Talks podcast. I think it's really interesting what Stephen Morley was saying, and we literally went through the government documents together. What he's saying is that the actual wholesale price of energy is only 35–40% of the total energy bill of companies. You've got taxes as well. You've got standing charges. You've got transport costs. You've got all kinds of other ancillary costs which companies have to pay for their energy. And this energy price cap won't affect them at all.
Liam, thank you very much, as always. Liam Halligan, cutting through the noise, it must be said, on what has been a very complicated issue, and it's got a lot of people quite hot under the collar as well. Liam Halligan there, our economics and business editor. Make sure you do check out his Money Talks podcast as well, because it will contain everything you need to know on that particular issue. But moving away...